Hello, guys. Hello, Miss Selena. I see there's 5 in here watching, so I just want hello, Miss Dana Kay, and I want to say hello and welcome to everybody coming in and anybody that's going to watch it on replay. Hello, I don't forget about you guys. I know I don't mention you all the time, but this is our channel, Nana of 7. Hello, sweetheart. Good morning to all you lovely ladies. Hang on one second. Be right back, waiting on people to get in. Hello, Miss Versi. I'm sorry about that, guys. I had just texted my son and told him I was going live, and he didn't get the message, but he was working, and so he called me back thinking there was something wrong. But like I was saying, I just wanted to discuss several things, just whatever. The balloon that has got all of the United States worried. The price of eggs, not in China, but here in the United States. Did y'all watch that I put on my community tab where Tucker Carlson was talking about the price of eggs and all the stuff going wrong? And the fact that, guys, they're trafficking or smuggling eggs across the border into the United States. That's bad. That's real bad. I've been hearing that Don Wells got on the lab last night and showed his butt. I have not watched it. I would love to hear from anybody that watched that last night. I mean, I can just imagine. They said he showed his rear end again. And just so everybody knows, including Mr. Wells himself, I have spoke to him a few times in a chat. It was a private chat where there was a few of us. And yes, I'm cordial to the man. I'm not, confrontational against him. I listen to what he says. I am sincere when I say pray for Candace. He had told me about Candace's heart problem. That was another reason I'd ask everybody to say a prayer the other day. But it wasn't my business to put out there. But there is so many questions that I really want to ask him. And although I have asked him several questions while I was in chat with him, and that he gave me answers or didn't give me answers to, today I would like to throw some of them out there, and in hopes that maybe he'll pop up here like he says he's going to do and answer some of the questions for us. And if you all have any questions, please put them in the chat so I can add them to the list of questions. But the main question I've got right now is what he said on Prayer Garden's panel the other night, which was, let me word this the correct way. When he was asked about the phone and how the stuff got erased from 3:00 on that day, he said that he didn't know for sure, blah, blah, blah. but that yes, they had erased the 911 calls from all 3 of their phones. I thought only 2 people called, but those were his words. They erased the 911 calls from all 3 of their phones. So did Candace call 911 that day too? Okay, let's start clicking some comments up here and see what we got. Hello, Nana. It was sad. He needs to stick to talking only about Summer. Well, like I said, I didn't watch it, so I don't know what was said. He claims he is the victim. Watch some of it. Don Wells is doing the same old, same old. Don has serious narcissistic personality disorder. It's obvious. I said that from the get-go, guys. I believe I did there's not a whole lot, guys, that I haven't done a video on, but I did do a video on him and Candace and the different personality disorders that they show symptoms of having. You would think grandma. Hello, Shalima. Good morning. Good morning, Plant Diva. Good morning, Charlie. Everybody else that I may have missed that has come in. Hello. I'm bored, guys. I did put a video out this morning. It wasn't very informative. Well, you all probably saw it. It was just where I read what Jeff Bobo had wrote in the Rogersville Review about the update. But I have a couple of other videos to go with that. Let me ask you guys something. In all the TBI on their website or whatever it is that you go and where people ask questions and they go ahead and give the answers to all the questions that have been asked about Summer's case. And maybe it's a Mandela effect. I don't know. But do you all remember ever before it mentioning the FBI almost in every sentence? Because the few times that I have went in there and read over those questions, I don't ever remember. I remember I'm talking about the FBI card team that came in when Summer went missing. But, vaguely, that's pretty much it. Now, if you go in there and read that, they pretty much mention FBI is on this case. FBI has been on this case since the beginning. FBI is working closely with TBI and Hawkins County Sheriff's Department. I mean, it's FBI every other sentence. And I don't remember that ever being. I don't know if they've changed it or what, but evidently, supposedly, FBI has been heavily involved with this case since the get-go. It doesn't matter if the things were erased. The phone service can still pull up the calls and text. Right. Yeah, that's not the point. The point is the 3 911 calls. Oh, yeah, the third one would have had to have been grandma and or H, yeah. But see, from the get-go, we always thought there was 2 phone calls. Supposedly Candace made one and Dawn made one. But now Dawn's saying that they erased the 911 calls from all 3 of their phones. And that's got me a little bumfuzzled. That I didn't think so, Plant Diva, but I promise you, I was planning on doing a video about that and reading those questions off and giving the answers because, like I said, now in pretty much it's every other comment, they're talking about the FBI being involved in Summer's case and has been from the beginning. FBI would mean it's become international. No. Or at least out of state. Yes, that's the only time FBI gets involved is if they believe that it has crossed the state line. Local, Hawkins County, Rogersville City Police, whatever, works within the county. If it's within the state or crosses county lines, it's TBI. If it crosses state lines, it goes to the FBI. Absolutely. I feel bad I couldn't leave a comment. They wouldn't load for me this morning. Oh, it's okay, hon. No big deal. I would like to know if Candace went to Fort Henry Dam that day. Okay, let me write that down. Hang on. But of course, he's just going to say that he doesn't know, right? Now, and guys, if you have me write a question down, try to make it an original question, because everybody keeps asking. I was watching this on Prayer Gardens the other night too. Everybody keeps saying, "Where's Summer? Where's Summer? Ask him about this. Ask him about that." But these are all questions that either he has deflected in the past, or he can say, "I don't know, I was at work," or he just don't answer. So if he hasn't already, I mean, if they've been asked multiple times in the past, obviously he's not going to answer them now. So like this one, did Candace go to Fort Henry? Anyways, sorry. I really want to talk with Don Wells. Are they mixing up TBI? No. It plainly states that FBI is working closely with TBI and Hawkins County. No, they're not getting them mixed up. They literally, FBI has been completely added as its own entity in these answers. There was something about FBI taking Dawn safe. Yeah, or FBI. Sorry, Ellie taking Dawn safe. Good morning, Sandy Grant. Yeah, evidently this happened just recently while he was out of town, while Candace was in the hospital. Maybe, or maybe happened while she was at Kathy's and he was still in lockup, but it's not happened too long ago. Yeah, I figured that I wouldn't like to know if the text with her and another woman saying to meet her there is true. Right, I remember that. Is brought up on the lab. Bethan, I don't know what that means, hon. Yes, never heard about his safe before. Think it belonged to his mom originally, since they were her bullets. I didn't hear nothing. I never heard that they actually found anything in the safe. Sorry, I'm speaking text and it's not catching it right. Oh, okay, that's fine. But guys, I was all set to interview or actually talk with. I'm not wanting to interview anybody. I'm not a professional newscaster. I'm not a professional reporter, whatever. I want to sit down and talk human to human, face to face. I would prefer, but we can't do it face to face with Don Wells. Not because of I'm thinking all the views and clicks and stuff I may get on my channel, but simply so that I can get things cleared in my own head, answers to some of the stuff that I've been wanting to know. And so that you all might have an opportunity to actually ask some questions that you might want to know. That's an interesting question. Wonder if Don is asking for $10,000 to get Summer back. Thank you, whoever just gave Nana a thumbs up as I was about to. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for everybody. Please, yes, go give me thumbs up so we can get this algorithm. Guys, my channel is not doing the best. We got to get these thumbs up. We've got to get these comments in. We've got to get the views up. That picture of Candace in the hospital looks like she walked into an empty hospital room and laid down on the bed for the picture. I've not seen that picture. But I'm sure that WJHL is not going to be putting out fake information, and they put it out that she was in the hospital, so, or had been in the hospital. He claims he doesn't know where Summer is, though. Where's the picture, Dana? Someone mentioned Candace having a stroke, not heart problems. Okay, yes. When I spoke with Don, we did talk about that, and he did agree that it probably wasn't a stroke that he was talking about. It may have been that Bell's palsy, whatever, because it happens, normally on a regular basis when she gets really, really, really super stressed out. Her lips start dragging and dropping, like a stroke or whatever. But he also, while he was gone to Arizona this time, she got put in the hospital because I forget what kind of heart thing it says, but they're saying that she does need open heart surgery to correct it. And that wouldn't be hard to believe, guys. I mean, with whether guilty or innocent, this is a stressful situation. And with all that stress, with the heart, she's had open heart surgery when she was a baby. She's always had heart problems. We know this. So it's not that far-fetched that she would start having heart problems. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Candace has had generic heart problems since she was a baby. Right. When she was 2 years old, that was the whole reason that they moved from Texas and had to go to Wisconsin, was so that she could have her heart surgery when she was a baby. That was the whole reason they moved. Yeah, Don did say it. Don told me. I was one of the first few people that he told. Surprisingly enough. Supposedly she needs a pacemaker. And that might be it. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly what it was that he said. Overlook my allergies, guys. I'm so sorry for coughing. I heard him on the news say that she had heart problems, right? It's the one in your... I started to watch your video this morning, hun, but my son called, so I didn't get a chance to finish it, but I will. And guys, when we get through talking about Dawn and Summer and Candace and all this, I would love to talk about that video that I did the other day, and where I said, is this a computer generated report? Alpaca found the same type of report done on Summer. And then she found a video that talks about, the new, I forget what it's called. Open AI is what it is. Google is putting it out for free. And there's even college students, some are having problems at school because they're using it to write their reports. And it's a scary video. I'll put it on my community tab, or Alpaca One can, and y'all can watch it. It's scary to think what this is likely going to, what's going to happen with this program. I think it's fair to say Candace is slow too. These problems are often part of a larger syndrome. No one chooses to be born like that. That's true. Sandy, thank you. And remind me the next time, or when I get out of here, right before I close out, remind me to go and make you a mod, please, ma'am. There's no need in somebody doing all that hard work and not being a mod. And I do trust you. You've been in here for a long time. Replacement of a pacemaker is a fairly routine cardiac procedure. Well, Dana, that might be true, honey, but anytime an invasive surgery happens, it's always scary, and it's always dangerous. I watched it once again. It's a shit show. I'm good, Nana. I do it because I like you and your channel. Oh, well, thank you, sweetheart. There's nothing routine about heart surgery, right? There's nothing routine about any time they got to cut you open. I know it scares me anytime I have to be put to sleep, period. I'm always scared that I'm not going to wake up. And I know that happens more and more as we get older and older, but still, it's scary. And I mean, y'all have to realize two things. Either Candace is innocent of anything to do with Summer getting gone. And in that case, she could pass away. There's a possibility she could pass away without ever knowing what happened to her baby. Or she is guilty, knows something, or knows the complete truth. And if she passed away, she might be the only person that knows anything. Or then again, she might be the only person that knows something that would actually wind up coming out and telling it one day. And we don't want that either. Candace would have had a hospital gown and been on a monitor if she was there for her heart. She had here regular clothes with her hoodie. She was probably seeking pain pills and she was in the ER. Well, I don't know, guys. I look at it this way. I try not to. I'm not always successful. I try not to speak too badly of people or think too badly of people because I know one day I'm going to be meeting my maker. And when I get there, I think, or I would hope that he would ask, what good deeds have you done in your life? I'm almost positive he's not going to be asking me, hey, did you bash that person enough? When you thought they were bad, when you thought they done something wrong, did you call them enough names? Did you bash them? Did you put them down enough? I mean, if they could be the world's worst person and they could have done whatever the worst things are that we think that they may have done. But I don't think God's going to be wanting to hear how bad we thought about these people. He's going to be wanting to know what we did to help other people. And people can get mad at me for saying that if they want, but I'm talking about me and what I think God would be asking of me. And that's why I try not, even when I'm married or with somebody and I get into an argument with them, I do my damnedest never to say anything derogatory towards them. I don't say the words, I hate you. Those words do not come out in my vocabulary at all. Or the words go to hell. Nope, don't use them. Candace would have had okay, we already read that. I've been here since the beginning of summer, was following Gabby. I was shocked at the judgment that came down on Candace just because Candace is a little different. It's not, you know what? I honestly and truly do not believe that we would have thought as badly about either one of them if it not been for that first sentence that came out of Dawn's mouth. And I told him this, and I did ask him about it. When he said, I will see her in the resurrection. And then, to the best of my knowledge, the next big red flag that we heard came out of his mouth was when he was asked, and I've looked for that clip, that video, and cannot find it. When he was asked, would you want to see this person that did this to Summer put in prison? And he says, I don't know if I could say that. He says, because I have been in prison. I know what people that do things to kids, what happens to people that do things to kids. I know what happens to them in prison. And he said, I would personally unalive myself before I would ever go to prison over something like that. So he said that he doesn't know if he would want him to go to prison or not because he knows what happens to him. That was another red flag for me. That's another thing that I would love to ask him about. Because right, wrong, or indifferent, you do something to one of my kids, and Lord forgive me, I would hope that I could do or say the right thing. But my gut instinct would be to defend or protect my child. And I would want to see anybody that hurt my child buried under the jail. And what happened to them in that jail, so be it. And I can't understand a parent that wouldn't want that. I've been here since Nana, we're saved by grace, not of the works, lest any man should boast. Our works won't impress God. Our works won't impress God, but I'm sure that, being vindictive and vicious and malicious will not impress him either, Dana Kay. And like I said, I'm by no means perfect. And I say that I would hope that I could try to do the right thing. But pray for your enemies more than people that are close to you, right? There's a lot of rocks being thrown in all directions. That was an interview with the Chris guy. Chris McDonough, is that where he said? I've looked, I still cannot. If anybody has that clip or that video, could you all please send me a link and say that it's, let me know that's what the clip is. Judge not lest you be judged, right? I truly hope that TBI, FBI, and the state police, etc., are maybe keeping much from the public, like the Idaho Forum. And then when they get everything they need, they will lay it all out. Well, I've just got to say, I hope so too, but it seems to me like they're taking their own sweet time. And I have to admit that I agree that it would not hurt them to be a little bit transparent. Ain't that the word for the week? Transparent. It would not hurt them to come out to shoot, just write a new script. I mean, I have compiled a few of the different interviews that Leslie Earhart has done. And I'm going to release that video here in just a little bit. But literally, except for changing the words around a little bit, putting them in different orders and stuff, she literally says the same thing on the 1 year anniversary of Summer being gone as she did the day after she disappeared. She does not say anything different. It's out of the norm. We don't know what happened to her. We don't know where she is. We're more worried about finding her than anybody else is. Blah, blah, blah. Why can't they tell us something? Hey guys, we've done cleared another spot. We went out there, we've searched. We're working hard. Some guy fell and broke his leg while he was searching for her. That's not giving any information out about the case, but that's letting us know that they are out there working. I'm upset today, guys. And it's just, I've been working on the video for her birthday. And because I'm not going to be able to go live or do anything for her birthday, because like I said, that's my baby girl's birthday. Yeah, the first was her birthday, but they're having her party on Saturday. So I'm pre-making the video for Summer's birthday. And that's what I've been working on. FBI protects those people. Where are the Jeffrey Epstein fly log just saying? Right, exactly. Karen, I seriously doubt that any justice will be given Summer or her brothers. Oh, wow, Versi. Thank you, darling. So very much. Thank you. You're so sweet and you're really good to me. And it does not go unnoticed or unappreciated. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Unreal, guys. Thank you. Donnie talks sad when he talks about Summer. He sounds sad when he talks about her. And all that rambling on about her twirling and twirling and twirling. When I talked to him one-on-one, that stuff didn't come out of his mouth. He talked like a sensible, reasonable adult. And I know for a fact that he was sober. And I would tell you how I know, but it's not my business to put it out there. But I can promise you, I know he was sober. Is Summer's birthday tomorrow? Honey, I've lost track of, yes, tomorrow is Saturday the 4th. It is her birthday. Yes, thank you, Versi. I greatly appreciate it, sweetheart. It is so very appreciated. See, and yes, that's the thing. There's so many people out there, and I hate to put everybody in categories, but there are the people who support the whales, and there are the people who don't support the whales. And then there's a group of people that actually sort of sit in the middle and take it in on both sides, which is where I'm at, guys. But you have to understand, if Candace is suffering from so much stress, it literally could be because she doesn't know where her child is at. She doesn't know what's happened to her. Or it could be because she knows where her child is at and she knows what happened to her. Don being sad could be because he doesn't know, or it could be because he does know and maybe he's sad thinking about what might actually happen to him one day because of it. So you really can't, although I would love to say, hey, he's sad. Oh, he's sad is because he's worried about his daughter and missing his daughter. Until we find out for sure, we're never going to know what is really making him sad. We're really not going to know what's causing Candace all the stress. On the side of justice tempered with mercy. Yes. Don't get mad, but if Summer never got gone, she probably would have grown up as another Candace. It would be good if we could take our love and help other kids with miserable lives. Thank you. I've said that before, but of course, I got attacked that time. Or that's what I was trying to say. Maybe it didn't come out the same way or as gracefully. Or she could be covering Dawn's butt and the stress is killing her. Yeah. One of the things I would like to ask Dawn is why when Candace was talking to Ernie, of course, I know what he's going to say. He's going to say, well, I have no clue why she said that. But I would like to know why he thinks that Candace would say that Dawn is on her list of people that could have took her daughter. And we all know that's exactly what she told Ernie Shell. Anger's not going to solve any problems. No, it's not. But I get angry sometimes, guys. And I know you guys don't like it when I'm angry, but sometimes you just got to let the frustration out or it'll eat you alive. Candace doesn't know how to express her feelings very well. I have been told that. And I'm, like I said, by no means am I taking up for or bashing either direction, because honest to God, guys, I really don't know. But everybody gets mad and says, here goes Dawn again with his whatever. And I don't know what happened on Josh's channel last night. I have not watched it. But like I just said, after you take so much in, hang on a minute. Shut up! Sorry, guys. Now repeat, John.
About 17 fucking F-22 fighter jets.
They're coming right now. I can hear them.
They just buzzed my house.
They're probably looking for that, or not looking for it, but it's probably have to do with that balloon.
Not this low, Mama. That balloon is like in the stratosphere.
So why would they be flying?
I don't know.
Okay, no, I heard, and it sounded like they were coming, but they never did show up. So I don't know where they're at.
Like right in here into the valley of Carson Springs, and like buzzed the mountains in a circle and flew out towards your house.
Well, I mean, you can hear them like in a distance. Okay, well, all right. I love you, Bubby. Thank you for warning me.
I'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right, bye, son.
Bye.
All right, guys. That's some of the phone calls I get from my kids. We try to keep each other updated on world disasters. As soon as I found out about that balloon thingy and how worried the government really was last night, I sent texts to all my children. Sometimes they think I'm crazy. What was I saying? After people have bashed on Dawn so much, I mean, just take into consideration, people. If by chance he hasn't done anything wrong, he didn't do anything to Summer, by chance he's telling the truth, after taking so much bashing, you would think that he would need to let the stress out and just go off on whoever he's talking to. I mean, it's just a thought. Is Angel's Talks Too Fast in here? Well, hello, darling. How are you? Good to see you in here. Would you like to pop up on panel, sweetie? He is a great kid. He is absolutely 100% a great kid. Only problem is he's really not a kid. I think he's like 39 this year, something like that. 40, maybe he'll be 40 this year. He's really not a kid. But I have to agree, my kids love mama. That's for sure. Well, Angel Talks Too Fast, would you like to pop up, sweetheart? I tell you what, I'm going to put the link down below, and if you decide you want to, you just pop right on up here. I would love to chit chat with you. Holly, oh, Holly, go lightly. Hello, sweetheart. Sorry, guys, I see names go by and see that I didn't say hello to you when you come in. Can I pin it? Yeah, hang on one second. I will try to. Things don't, nope. It won't let me do nothing. It won't let me pin nothing on my side. I can't delete people. All I can do is time people out over here. Nope. I can block myself or time myself out. That's it. But I just dropped it again for you. Oh, okay. Just when you pop back in or when you get home, just let me know and I'll drop it again. That's no problem. I think it is on one. Candace and Dawn sitting and talking to News Girl. Okay. I saved a robin last year and it came back this year. Now my friends think I'm crazy because it shows up daily and I talk to it. But it does chirp back and gets real close. Also comes when called. Oh, that's so awesome. She's going to have major heart surgery. Oh, guys, I love coming in here and hanging out with you guys. And I see that we were up to like 55 people in here, and I've probably 6 people have dropped off. They may not have liked what I had to say. But I do try to look at things from both sides, guys, both perspective. I mean, I'm sitting yesterday, and my son has been watching the Murdaugh trials. 2 things about this. Let me ask first of all. Tell me, please, why, and we're talking about newscasters, we're talking about people who have been to college, who supposedly has an education. Why do they call him Alex Murdaugh? It is not spelt Murdoch. It is not pronounced Murdoch. It is Alex Murdaugh. But they don't pronounce it that way. Most of them don't, anyways. But, anyways, my son was watching the trial, and I'm sitting there thinking, his son is sitting in the courtroom, and I'm thinking, how can I don't get how his son can sit there and back him up, be there for him. And my son's like, well, think about it. He doesn't know for 100% sure that his dad did do that horrible, horrendous thing to his mom and his brother. What if by some freak chance he really didn't do it? What kind of a shitty kid would his son be if he turned on his dad immediately and stopped having anything to do with him when the going got rough, when he really didn't do anything? Now, we all know that he did it. I mean, my son knows he did it too. Well, we believe he did it, should I say. Allegedly, he did it. Especially seeing how that new video came out yesterday with his voice on it. Yeah, it did. I seen that. I think that was part of the reason I didn't get a video out yesterday, guys, is because I was spending a lot of time in there watching that. Because we've been watching the Murdaugh podcast and all the reports on the Murdaugh case since it happened. Actually, I think we watched a couple of the videos, like on that Stephen boy and on the girl when they had the boat wreck. And those videos about those came out before the wife and the son got unalived. And so when he did that right before summer got gone, we started watching it. So we've been following that ever since it happened. Yes, I did. We watched them, and they are very informative. But you know what else? And I wished I had the money or the wherewithal to do it. But do you know, we should be able to get a hold of Hawkins County records and request any phone calls that Don Wells had while he was in jail with whomever he had phone calls with, just like they did Alex Murdaugh. Holly, it's been the greatest experience, but my friends really are saying I've lost it now. What has been the greatest experience? Oh, the bird? Or was it you that was talking about the bird? Well, evidently Don accepted Dippy's friend request and he's talking to her now. Which, I mean, I'm glad for her. Yeah, the bird. Okay. That's awesome. And you're not crazy. I would love to be able to sit and have a chit chat with a wild bird. Yeah, I didn't either until I was watching the Murdaugh podcast when they were showing the phone calls. And me and my son were listening to them. And I thought, I would love to get Don's phone calls and see what they say and see who all he talked to. I have a mama squirrel and her baby I feed every day, birds too, with my feeders. I can't wait till spring gets here because I want to put some more hummingbird feeders out. I did the hummingbird feeders not last year, but year before. Yeah, I think it was year before. As long as Dawn is talking to same creators, all's good. Well, I would love to have him up here on my panel. I would love to be able to talk to him. But all I have heard for the last 2-3 days is people bashing other creators for having Dawn on their panel. Like you're the scum of the earth if you talk to the man. They don't ask what you think or how you believe or what you feel about the situation. Plain and simple, if you have him on your panel, you're the scum of the earth. And you are to be ashamed of yourself. But how are we supposed to learn anything if not anything new if we don't different people talk to him? Because he might tell me something that he didn't tell the last person. I should hear what Don said last night. Well, I plan on watching it at some point, but I wanted to go live. Hummingbird feeders, just make sure you boil the sugar into the water. Makes all the difference in the world. Yes, I know. I watched there's a lady that does, like, she's got hundreds of hummingbirds that comes to her house, and she's got like at least 50 or more feeders that she puts out for them. It was bad last night. Vengeance is the Lord. God knows people's hearts. True. He talked to Chris last night. You know, the one thing that I realized when I had my hummingbird feeder, though, is at least, I know you're supposed to put fresh water out every day and stuff for them, but at least every other day, you have to clean the feeders, because I'm not sure what it looks like. Mold to me builds up around the feeder holes within like a day. But guys, I just want to let everybody know I'm not a horrible person simply because I wanted to hear what he had to say. And I want answers to questions for my own peace of mind, if not for everybody else. He got so angry talking to the lab last night. Drier climates don't mold as much. Yeah, it's very humid up here or here. I don't know where you're at, so it may not be up here. It may be down here or across here. Oh, well, let me tell you something. I already told him if he ever comes on my panel, he ain't allowed to say the N word, the C word, the B word. And to me, there ain't none of them ain't no worse than the other. I'll just say that right now. But he ain't allowed to do all that. And the first time he does it, I'm not like everybody else. I'm not going to sit there and just listen to him. I'll tell him to shut his mouth. And if he don't, then I will take him off panel. I will not stand for it. You've always I haven't watched Dawn yet. I've always thought bad of Dawn, but I've always felt bad for, or sorry for Candace. Well, in my opinion, I seen a thing on TikTok. It's talking about the damage that it literally does to the brain for a person to have to live in the house and around a narcissistic person. And there's evidently scientific or whatever kind of studies that it literally damages a person's brain if they are living in the house with a narcissistic person and you have to listen to them constantly degrade you and put you down and control you and all that. And I wondered like yesterday and last night if that's not what happened to her, because I've always thought that Don controlled her, because it just, once again, he keeps saying Candace won't talk. Candace is scared of this. Candace is scared of that. She won't get on panels. She's upset. Well, it seems awful funny. That's what he was saying the first time around until he went to jail. And when he went to jail, she had no problem getting out there and talking. And now that he's back on panel, she's too scared to talk again. I'm not buying it. Bacteria and fungus feeding on the sugar water. We get that in aquariums too. Oh, okay. He and Josh do not get along. I think he would be respectful with you. I believe he would be respectful with me too, because I would, like I said, I'm not going to bash anybody. I'm not going to kiss his butt, but I'm not going to bash him either. And he knows that. And that's like when I did tell him that I would shut off chat, and he's like, no, don't do that. Because somebody might actually have something informative to say, or an informative question that hasn't been asked, blah, blah, blah. But the times that I've spoke with him, he's never been disrespectful. I've always thought Dawn had started essaying Summer. Dawn kept saying GD this and GD that so much for him being a Christian, right? Well, I can tell you guys, I am a Christian. Jesus is my Savior, my one and only, and I'm proud to be a Christian, but I'm not a perfect Christian. And I'm not saying, I'm not taking it for him, but I'm just saying for myself. There are times that GD slips out of my mouth, and it's not on purpose, but it happens. Not so much as it used to now. It used to happen more. But you guys are helping me get on the straight and narrow. So. Or it claims to be, yeah. Well, that's about like a prayer garden. She claims to be a Christian. And I was talking to somebody else the other day, and we were talking about Dawn and all them. What you put out into the world is what you're going to get back. Now, Prayer Garden says she is a Christian, but what does she put out? She puts out the attitude that she is the most foul-mouthed sailor there are. What does she get back? She's the most foul-mouthed sailor there are. Not many people sit around and talk about what a good Christian she is. But they do talk about her foul mouth. Just like Don Wells. If he wants people to think good of him, then he needs to put that out into the world, not what he's been putting out. And I hope that made sense. Hello, Lone Star. Welcome in, hon. Hello, May May. Where are you at? I didn't see it. There you are. But I mean, the reason I get that, guys, is because of what you teach a girl. If you want to be treated like a lady, you put yourself out like a lady. If you don't put yourself out as a lady, then people are not going to treat you that way. There you go, Angel. Grab the link, babe. Angel Talks Too Fast is going to jump up here with us. And because we don't have really anything specific that we're supposed to be talking about, we may cover everything from David Cohen to the price of eggs, not in China, but in the United States, guys. The price of eggs in China is an old thing my sister used to say just to confuse people. So that's where I get that from. Hello, Miss Angel.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today, sweetie?
Oh, it's so cold outside.
Oh, I know it. And I've been having to take my dog out there, and I'm dressed in like sleep shorts and a t-shirt, and take my dog out in the freezing weather to pee and poop.
Yeah.
So, what's up new with you, sweetheart?
Well, very little. I've been trying to do, I have like 50 projects I'm working on, and I'm trying to finish things up and so I can like close out of some of the billions of things I have going on.
Right.
And it feels like every day I just get like more and more stuff on my to-do list. It just doesn't never stop.
I hate to keep piling on to you, more information on you, but when it comes to that one subject, you are my go-to person. So I try to send everything to you when it comes to that.
Yes. I still have to get that stuff set up for you to get into.
Okay.
That's on my to-do list. So much. There's so much to do.
Hello, Discovering. That's great, and I will do whatever it takes to help figure that out.
I know,
and I don't know if the information I sent you really is who that is.
Well, that was the initial theory, but I've kind of got some other ideas, especially over the past like 48 hours. Things seem to be interesting without getting too specific.
Right. Now, can I ask a question? I mean, sure. Everybody's going to know what I'm talking about, but I'm still trying to keep your business off. You said that they threatened your child, right?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Okay, that's what I thought. I keep repeating that, and I just didn't want to keep repeating something that was incorrect.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That was something along the lines that they were gonna stab her in the head repeatedly while I was watching in agony, waiting for police to get there, and that there'd be nothing I could do to save her life.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I'd heard that he sent a secret message to Nita.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, about her sick son. He was going to come and heal him.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I ignored him for the longest. Him or her. I ignored that person for the longest time, and it just became to the point where I felt like I should probably look into that.
Right.
I know that it seems as though that they're just trolling.
Oh, I have I don't know. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you know anything about computers? Because I don't know if you know anything about computers or not.
Yes, yes, very much.
Okay. Now, is there any way to figure out how either my phone or my computer is bugged?
Well, I don't know in what sense, like that you have a virus or a worm or a Trojan or something?
No, like somebody listening in literally and repeating back my conversations.
I don't know. They would have to have access for like your computer. Do you have a Windows computer?
Yes, but see, the thing, I don't think it's the computer, is because when I get through using my computer, I disconnect from the internet and shut my computer down.
Yeah. Well, all they would need is access to the microphone. And usually if someone is going to do that, they get in and try to get access to the microphone and the webcam so they can hear and see. And if they've gotten access, depending on how they did it, even if you've shut your device off, they might still be able to get in there every time that you turn it back on. If they know, like, if they know how to connect to your computer,
Yeah.
if anytime that it's turned on, they could go in and connect and you would really have no idea.
Right.
Which is like why, so for example, if it's a really really good idea if you have a webcam built, if you have like a laptop, say, and there's a webcam built in, to
Yeah.
always have it covered up,
I do.
like with
I
a
do.
sticky note or something.
With my computer and my phone, I keep them covered all the
Yeah.
time unless I'm using them.
Yeah. There are ways to go into the settings and look and see what permissions there are for your mic and your cam, and to see if something is weird. So you know how when you come in StreamYard, it says, you know, it asks you to give it permission to access your mic and your cam, right?
Right.
Okay, so some things work like that, and once you say yes the first time, then it never prompts you to do it again.
Right.
So it just continually allows you to have access, or that whatever it is, to have access to your stuff. So if somebody was on your computer and went in and granted access to that and said, you know, you don't have to ask me again, then they, like I say, then they could just continually be in there listening and hearing. And but usually if someone is going to go on your computer, they'll try to get full on access to see everything you're doing, as well as hearing and seeing you, you know, on your cam. Like remoting in.
What about my phone?
Do you have an Android or an iPhone?
I have an Android.
I'm
sorry to bother you with this, honey. It's just that literally it's all being said, oh, it's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. But literally, I mean, specific things are being repeated back.
Yeah.
That I've said.
Well, what I would do if I was you is I would completely factory reset your phone. Completely, to get it back to like where it was when you very first got it. And then whatever had maybe put on your phone wouldn't be there anymore.
Okay.
But you'd have to completely like wipe it, like factory reset that. But before I do that, I'd call my cell provider and say, okay, I want to do this, to make sure that your cell service doesn't get like interrupted or something.
Right. Okay. Well, I just thought I'd heard you mention something about, you knew something about computers before, but I wanted to make sure.
And if you have like I have an iPhone. It's been a long time since I've had an Android. But if you create like a backup file that stores in the cloud or whatever, and you try to restore your phone with a backup, if something's on your phone, it might also be on your backup. So if you're trying to get rid of it, you could inadvertently put it back on. If you try to do it that way.
No, I had planned on taking and getting another phone and backing up everything on the other phone just to have it, because I don't want to back it up on my computer. So I thought about just backing it up on another phone and then just resetting my phone to see if that would help.
Yeah. Well, sorry, hang on, let me cough. So if you back up all your stuff to the cloud or whatever it is with Android, and you then get a new device and you pull the info from the cloud, whatever's there is still gonna, whatever device you put it onto, it wouldn't matter if it's a new device or not. It's still pulling out of the cloud. So if I was going to do it, I would save my files and photos and all of that, but not necessarily back up programs per se. That's kind of what I would do.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering, because this is really starting to agitate me. I mean, we're talking within hours of me saying something and then it's repeated.
Yeah. There are certain apps you can do, programs for the computer I know of. You can download and they'll look for things like that. I don't know about how Android would work.
Right.
But I don't know if you ever watched Trilogy Media. They do scam baiting. And then Scammer Payback does the same thing, those two channels. And if you go to either one of them, they offer discounts for programs for your computer for this thing. So if you're ever looking for a program to for like to protect your stuff. If you go over to either of those channels, because they're big ones, you can get like huge discounts on certain things for VPNs and other various types of tools.
Right.
That's where I got my stuff.
Synchronicity. This is not making a whole lot of sense. Let's just all ditch our phones, computers, and meet in the castle with a fancy man. Wink, wink. Do we know anybody else that hollers wink, wink all the time? Well,
I have no
don't know
clue.
if you watch them or not, but
I have been like mass unsubscribing because I just don't. I can't anymore.
I did that a long time ago, hon.
There's nothing productive being done, really.
Oh,
lately.
while everybody's in here, Angel, I don't know how much you followed the Idaho 4 case. Do you follow it at all?
Vaguely.
Okay. I don't know what side you would go on. If you are for there's other people involved or not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm hoping I can find it. Where's it at?
I've read the, I think it was the affidavit that I read.
Right.
But didn't they unseal some other stuff?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, but I haven't read the newer things.
I received a comment on one of my videos the other day. This is what it said, because see, I'm one of the people that believed that there were other people involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
I received this on one of my videos. It says, the day after the unalivings, the guilty students, now this is all alleged, guys. The guilty students was bragging on Facebook about them unaliving X, K, E, and M in 19 minutes. Names of the students doing the unaliving are Locke, Bridget, Barry, and Adam. They put it on Facebook the very next day. And said that they had done it within 19 minutes. I don't know what to do with that piece of information. I just find it interesting.
It to law enforcement?
Well, you would think that they would have that somebody would have sent that in, but yeah, I thought about that, but I don't know who you get a hold of down there.
You should, just in case. I mean, it's better if they have gotten it like 50 times than not gotten it at all.
Right.
There's a phone number. They can, every press conference, even after he was arrested, they still wanted people to contact them, if you recall.
Right.
They gave the phone number. I don't have it, but I know the one that the Idaho people did, their press conference, they provided the information on who to talk to.
Right.
But I can't remember.
Sandy, I agree. That will be a movie. I guarantee you, though, Summers' case is going to turn into a movie as well. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I always err on the side that I would rather give them something they already have.
Yeah.
And, just in case. Just in case.
So what do you think of Don's reappearance on Facebook or on YouTube?
I think he's causing serious distractions from things. Like, if he wants to come on YouTube and talk on panel or via text message or whatever it is that's happening, I don't appreciate him talking about himself all the time. I don't. It just feels like every time he's on whatever channel, it's all about Don Wells. And I'm so over it. I'm so over it. He's getting all of this airtime and he's taking it and using it to talk about himself.
Right.
It's like, don't you think that, and that's it. People don't want to know about him. They want to know about June 15th. They want to know about Summer. And he doesn't seemingly ever answer questions about that.
I agree.
Skates around them.
He was asked the other day about the 4-hour time span that we know when maybe it wasn't exactly 4 hours, but there
Mhm.
is a missing time span there.
Yep.
And he was specifically asked about that, and he jumped straight to, well, I could have swore it was 5:30. Well,
Mhm.
come on. We know it wasn't 5:30 that law enforcement was called, because Ronnie Lawson himself said that the parents had already been looking for the child. Now, don't
Mhm.
knock that, because if your child goes missing, you're going to at least look for them before you call 911. You wouldn't
Mhm.
immediately notice they're gone and call 911, and then you find them under the table.
Yeah.
But we know it was before 5:30. We definitely know it was before 6:30, because 6:30 is when the dispatch call came out. So
Right.
why did he completely skip over that question?
I don't know. I don't know. I have never been able to understand why he's not really been able to provide very specific answers about that entire day, period. It's
Right.
like that had to have been, it should have been the worst day of his life. And, you know, if it's the worst day of your life, I can't understand how you would not remember a play-by-play of that day.
And if it's true that he wasn't there, you're telling me that your child is missing. You're not going to come in, whether you mean to or not. You're not going to come in and grill your partner every second that happened that day yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And repeatedly, I would ask my partner, what happened that day? Please tell me again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you might have missed something. You might have forgot something. Tell me again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree 100%. He should know more than what he's saying he knows.
Yeah. I mean, when he was asked, I think it was, did you have breakfast or what'd you have for breakfast or something? He didn't know. He couldn't even remember if he had breakfast. And I just don't understand that. I'll never understand that,
I
because I mean, I've
yeah.
never lost my child, but I've had tragedy in my life, and I could tell you everything about that particular day, every detail about that day. Still, and
Yep.
it's been like 20 years. So I don't understand. I don't get it. And even
Uh,
if you ask him a question about the 15th, um, and he attempts to answer it, he answers it about himself. Like he doesn't, it's like his answers are just concerning him and
right.
not Summer, which is so confusing to me. I just don't understand. And I think that, well, okay, so for me personally, this is my own personal perspective on it. Um, you know, it doesn't matter what Don does. He's never going to change people's minds about what they think about him. It doesn't matter at this point. There's nothing he can say to change people's minds. But the issue I have is that he's not talking about Summer. And I don't know about other people, but that's the thing that's really um, upsetting me about him going on various panels and channels, is that he just doesn't talk about her. And
Right. Like we do want to know, really honestly and truly, don't give us some vague answer like's been
Mhm.
being passed out in the past. What's her favorite color? What
Yeah,
did she like to do?
yeah,
When she walked around the house playing, what little song did she sing? Did
hmm,
she know how to write her name? Did she
yeah,
know her ABCs? What was her favorite game to play? We're, and no disrespect, Dawn, if you're listening, but we're so over hearing how she liked to twirl and twirl and twirl and twirl. All kids
uh-huh,
like that.
hmm.
I mean,
Well, so for example, if I was going to ask him a question, just a random thing, so he says, my wife called me, I was at work, my wife called me. I would say, what were you doing when she called you? And see what he says. Because he's never said, I was in the middle of hanging drywall. I was, he just says, I was at work. Well, what were you doing at the time that you got the phone call? It's not like you were just standing there doing nothing all day,
right.
you
I
know?
agree.
But it's kind of those details that I don't know. It's always the same story, and I have it memorized, but there are details that I don't know why they've never been asked. If they have, I have never heard of it. Like I say, okay, so Candace calls you, she's like, I can't find Summer. Well, what were you doing? What were you doing when she called you? Yeah, I understand you were at work, but what were you doing? Physically
Right.
doing at the time? And things like that. I don't
I
know.
agree. That's the kind of questions I want to ask, because
Mhm.
it's those little details that seem mundane and seem like they don't have anything at all to do with summer getting gone
Mhm.
that would answer a lot.
Yeah.
It really
And
would.
like, was it sunny that day? Was it raining that day? What, it, I mean, we know the TikTok thing, but from his perspective, it's like,
Right.
okay, well, you were working that day. What did you do at work? What were your things that you were doing? Was it hot? Was it cold? When you were driving
Well,
home, was it raining? Was it windy? Something
well,
like that.
see, if you'll think back, I forget who it was that did a video on it, but the milk jug video, right?
Yeah.
Somebody was making a comment about that, because, and I may be mistaken about the it was supposedly raining and it wasn't, or it was raining,
Mhm.
or it was supposed to have been raining and it wasn't.
Mhm.
Whichever. Anyways, I believe there, if you look closely on the back window of that truck, or the side window one, there's rain droplets.
Yeah. I don't know.
And it
Um,
wasn't supposed to be raining that day, but yet in that video, there's rain droplets on that vehicle.
yeah. I've looked at that photo like I couldn't tell you how many times. And it's been so long, but the video that's supposed to have the person that allegedly accidentally made the video instead of a photo.
Yeah.
When the video pans over, the driver's window is rolled down. You can hear the wind, and you can see that it's sunny outside, which is why it's really noisy in that video, because
Yeah.
Candace is driving with the windows down, at least partway. But the thing that my to do with the milk situation is wait for it to be summer time again here, and put milk in my car and see how long it would take to like get condensation on the jugs,
Yeah.
because I can't see the jugs being shiny. I mean, we know the weather from that day, but it's more about putting Don in a situation where if it's a memory, he could recall it immediately. He wouldn't have to go back and look up the weather or
Right.
whatever, things like that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I honestly think that he does know more than what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're innocent or guilty, they say, I do not remember, I can't remember, whatever, to get out of answering the questions. I don't think it's that they don't remember it. They just don't want to answer honestly. And
Yeah.
that's not bashing them. That's just a fact. A lot of us do that. I mean, if you're in an awkward position and you don't want to answer a question, well, I can't think of it right now, or I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But not a lot of people do that when their child is missing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, if now this is not all the time, but a lot of times when people are in a situation and that's traumatic to them, they'll remember things like a song that was playing, or some sensory thing. They'll remember things like that, which is why I mentioned the weather, because it's a sensory type of
Yeah.
thing, And like I say, if we're recalling a memory and we're saying, okay, what was it, raining? Was it sunny? Whatever. What was the temperature that day? Then if it's a memory, he should be able to recall it immediately. He shouldn't have to go and look and see.
Right. I agree. Well, and the thing, I did notice on Prayer Gardens thing the other day, Dom swears up and down it didn't rain after summer got gone. It didn't rain for 40 days. Trevor Lee, who is not one of Don's biggest fans, we know this, agreed that it didn't rain for 40 days.
Yeah,
That it
there's
was
a
dry.
lot of people who said that.
But then you've got other people saying, no, it rained. It rained. Prayer Garden herself. So, no, I don't know how she would know. I don't think she lives in Rogersville. But she's like, no, it rained from this time during the day until midnight.
But
Well,
see, the thing though about weather, I'm not too familiar with how it works in mountainous regions, but in the city that I live in, it could be raining in one spot and then you drive like a mile and it's sunny.
right.
So who knows? I mean, Tim Mullen, ugh, he says that he went there and took photos on the 22nd of June.
Yes.
And if you remember the photos that he took of the driveway, it looks as though it had rained a little or something. It's wet. There are spots that are wet, but
Right.
it's not full on dry. But I don't know. I don't think that he went there that day either.
Now that man, I would love to have a conversation with him because I would like to know why he was being so creeping
Mhm.
around up there anyways,
Mhm.
talking about how you can lure little kids
Oh
and
God,
little
I know.
girls with ponies and kittens and ugh.
Well, he says he went there Tuesday, 1 week after she goes missing,
Yeah.
and he said that the police, everybody, was gone by 5 or 6 p.m., which was the reason he could turn and go all the way up Ben Hill Road and all this, that, and the other. But see, the problem with that is that is the same day that they did the roadblock in the evening.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't understand how there isn't there's no law enforcement at that time of day there, like none. That does
Maybe
not
it
make
was
sense to me.
shift change.
But there's nobody. There's
I know,
no
honey.
one there.
I'm just saying, as lax as Hawkins County is, their shift change could have happened over lunch break, and they wound up taking 2 or 3 hours
Hmm.
to change shifts. But no, I understand what you're saying about Tim Mullins. I would love to talk to him because I've got some. I can't be rude and crude to people or hateful to people when in a text message or something like that. I want to face them face to face and have the opportunity to see their facial features when you ask them a question.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't like me
Who,
at
Tim
all.
Mullen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the that very first video that he put out when he's talking about the first time he goes there, he says, "We went on up to Ben Hill. We did. We
yeah,
did." But it's supposed to only be him in the
right.
vehicle, which makes
I
no
did a
sense.
video on that. I questioned that, yeah,
Hmm.
myself. Yeah,
And then he gave me some stupid explanation that um, he had this dog and he had this dog for some really long period of time, and that he was so used to, so I guess the dog had died, and he was very used to having the dog with him all the time. And so he was just really used to saying we, as in him and the dog. And then he changed his mind. And then he changed his mind and he said that actually people in that area frequently interchange I and we when they talk about themselves.
no, no,
I know that. But that was what he told me. That was the explanation he gave. Was that by saying we, he meant himself, and that's just a regional thing.
no, it's not.
I know it's not.
Plant Diva, he told me when I asked him that question, he does everything as a volunteer. He volunteered his services to such a good friend as Don Wells, and he just was doing the Christian thing.
Yeah, who's supposed to be a total stranger to the family.
Right. But yet he does he puts out the pamphlets and stuff for the SDA church. He's the
Hmm.
one that does all that for them.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but everywhere that he's involved in, he always promotes his own stuff at the same time, right along with Summer. He promotes
Uh-huh.
his website, um, not the website, but the news thing that he leaves, that news thing that he runs on Facebook and what have you. So even if he's not getting paid money from the Wells, he's still promoting himself for other
Right.
things. So,
Exactly.
and I don't know if he gets like ad revenue for that or not, but if you have control over like the website and you're saying here, go to this particular Facebook page, I can't remember the name of it, something news, and you have ad revenue happening, well, the more traffic you can direct to your stuff, the more ad revenue you're going to get.
Right.
Just saying.
I don't know what they could have been transporting in milk jugs, sweetheart. But I can tell you, I honestly and truly, with all my heart, can say almost with 100%, unless they are total idiots, it wasn't moonshine. Somebody in the early days was trying to say they were transporting moonshine in those plastic jugs. You do not put moonshine in plastic jugs at all. I don't know what was wrong with JSB yesterday. That's the next
Yeah,
thing down.
she was. I don't know what she was on. She was on one, but I don't know what was going on with that. I couldn't figure out what she was doing.
Why? What was going on? I don't watch her.
She basically, okay, so you know how she shows receipts where she basically holds her phone up to
Yeah.
the camera. She was playing a bunch of old videos of hers off of Facebook about DV stuff, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it went on for, I don't know, over an hour, where she was just holding her phone up, so you could just watch these videos where you couldn't really even understand what she was saying because she was crying and all of this. She's in, I don't know what's going on. The past, yesterday and the day before yesterday, she's in this weird mental place for some reason. I don't know. At first, when I first was listening yesterday to that, I thought she was going to be playing videos where she was going to be talking about the days after Summer went missing. But then I realized that she was actually just talking about Andy, as she usually does.
Right.
And dragging up some old receipts about, DV this and DV that. Not to minimize DV, but it's just the same story over and over and over and over from her.
Yeah.
That it gets to the point where it's like when I was listening yesterday, I usually listen to her when I'm driving or something. Yesterday I kind of got the vibe that she just doesn't have any friends and she doesn't have anyone to talk to. And so she just comes on here and talks to people who she thinks are her friends, when in reality they're just hanging around to try to wait for her to talk about Summer.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can take up for Andy all they want. I've been in situations, my sister's been in situations. You get put in a log cabin up on top of a hill, stuck taking care of kids. You have no way to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The old man is running out to the job every day. He comes in late of the evening. You have no one to communicate with, no humans other than your children. That gets old. When Andy left her and Summer went missing, or however that order that went in, she went on YouTube. She went on Facebook. She started getting attention and she loved it.
Yep, exactly. Oh, yeah.
And then she started getting her own money from it.
Uh-huh.
And yeah. I believe that's what has kept her going. And that is what's kept the stories going. Mm-hmm. That's why they all clash, and she'll say one thing one day and something totally different the next day. And she's lonely.
I mean, I believe that Andy was not nice to her, but I also believe that there was I don't think that it was 100% one-sided. I think that there was something in return. Not that it was equal, but...
Angel, can you answer this? It says, hey, my friend has a question. Why would the search dog stop at JSB's feet? You say what you think, and then I'm going to say what I think.
Well, didn't that come from her herself?
Yes.
See, whenever she says something, I question whether or not it's true or whether it's like attention-seeking stuff. So it's really hard for my opinion on that because of where it's coming from. Right. You know, that whole getting in the creek to to make sure the scents, getting in the creek to avoid scent for the scent dogs, that thing.
Yeah, so it won't
that is always like, that's always bothered me.
Well, I forgot about that part, but my opinion about the scent dog stopping at her feet, for one, have we ever heard anybody, including Dawn or Candace, anybody, it don't matter who, have we heard anybody say that happened except for Jody Sue. And
I think Dawn said that, but I believe, and don't quote me, but I believe what it was that he was told by her, like Jody Sue told him, and then he
right.
like regurgitated it.
And 2, she got in the creek because she didn't want to mess up the scent dogs when they were looking for Summer.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to remember, Jody Sue was walking in the creek so that she didn't mess up the scent dogs'
Right.
work. What, an hour or more before, actually probably more than that, before there was ever scent dogs even brought up there.
Yep. What she said was, because you know what happens. Hang on, let me look. I have it all typed out. Let me pull it up so I make sure I get it right. JSB. God, that took so long to type all that stuff out. Man, forever. Give me a minute here to look for this. That's not the right one. Text transcripts. I don't remember which one it is. I know it's in number 9. I know where it's at. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Gets it sent.
Discovering, while you're looking for that, let me read this. Discovering just sent
Oh.
this to me. Not that it's what was in the jugs or anything, guys, but it's interesting. It says K powdered milk is a cocktail of narcotics made of ketamine laced with methamphetamine.
There we go. All right. Sent. Oh, come on. All right. I have it. You want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. So it happens in number 12. And in her journey number 12. So she says, so I'm wearing sandals and I know the best thing I can do is get into the water. So I step into the creek because from there I can keep tracks down. Because when you live in areas like ours, you know, worst case scenario, you also know what happens if somebody can't be found. And you know that staying in the water keeps scent down for dogs if they have to be brought in.
Okay.
I don't understand. I don't know why I will never understand why that would be somebody's initial thought. If they're looking for a missing child, why they'd be like, oh my God, I better walk in the water. It just doesn't make sense. That wouldn't be my first thought at all. I wouldn't be concerned whatsoever about if I was in the water or if I was not in the water.
Is synchronicity, is that one of your subs? By chance?
Mine? No.
Yeah.
You know, the thing though is, so she says that she is walking in the creek, right? And the neighbor or whoever it is that's helping her is walking along on the bank. If she was concerned about keeping the scent down, why wouldn't she tell whoever it was, you better not do that because of the scent dogs?
I don't know.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Lisa says, I think it would be because she has summer scent on her. Maybe she's trying to wash it off. Oh, she didn't say wash it off, but that's what I said.
Which doesn't make sense.
Someone picking her up on horseback, and that's why the dogs were not home. Maybe. I'd still like to know how Don Wells knew the dogs weren't home.
Mm-hmm.
Candace couldn't give him any details of anything else that may have happened that day, but yet they know that the dogs weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
That's strange.
Yep.
They can't remember anything else from that day, but they remember the dogs weren't there.
They can remember some completely irrelevant details from other days just fine.
Oh, yeah.
But not that day.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but I do question the thing of, okay, supposedly he took the pictures of the red truck that he was helping the cop get out of the ditch with the four-wheeler, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
He says that happened that morning.
Mm-hmm.
When it was put out there, the pictures were put out there showing that he was in his white truck when all that happened. Then the story changed to, oh no, it was August 9th, and then it was some other day. But the plain and simple fact is he remembers every detail, right down to the woman who looked like she hadn't brushed her hair in 2 months.
All he would have to do, okay, all right. So Tim Mullen took his phone, right? Remember? And copied the photos to save them.
Right.
So he would just have to go and open the photo, and it would tell him the date and the time stamp that the photo was taken from the phone.
No. It don't do it. Don't neither. When it gets copied onto another phone, it'll give the date that it was copied. It won't give the original date.
If it's moved through iTunes?
That I don't know.
Because that's the way that Tim says he did it.
Now, I don't know about nowadays, but I know used to, you could go into a phone and click on on a computer and stuff. You could click on a photo, right click, go down to properties, and it'll tell you the location and all that of where the picture was taken, when it was taken, what time of day it was, where it was at.
Mm-hmm.
But once you move that thing, it doesn't give the correct time and date. It gives the date it was copied. That's another reason why I think that milk video was not taken on Candace's phone, was because where I heard it, I'm not sure. So don't hold me to this. But I heard they could not get any metadata off of that video clip or that photograph. And I believe it's because it was transferred from someone else's phone to Candace's phone at 3:09 that day.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
Like maybe from Marlena Crawford's phone, who I think personally is the one that said no and took the video on her own damn phone.
I think the TBI verified the swimming hole one. If I remember right. Ansley Daniels said that. Something like that. But that they couldn't or wouldn't confirm the car video, the truck video.
Well, even Dawn says that now, and we don't know, they verified that it was the swimming hole video was took that day. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dawn, at some point, I don't remember if it was that one, that video, or the dancing in the rain, but he makes a statement that was the last video his wife took of his daughter. Well, what? I thought the last video was the milk jug video.
That the dancing video was taken
a week before.
I thought it was like May 30.
Oh, I thought it was like a week before.
I knew the answer to this
because
like 2 or 3 days ago.
Dudley's truck was parked up there.
God, where was that oh man. Because I remember listening to something where that came up and they all knew the date of that. For some reason, I feel like I heard May.
I don't know. Guys, I remember a lot about this case, but there's some things I just can't.
Well, part of the problem is they all tell like 10 different versions.
Yeah.
And they're always evolving. And so
Yes.
you might remember something somewhere, but then it's explained 10,000 other ways somewhere else.
Okay, who said what said? This is what Don said that day or that time. He said that the day in the rain, which was the dancing in the rain, is the last photo they had together. Don said,
Oh,
of Don and Summer together.
so like the last one he was involved with.
Right.
Like yeah, okay. That makes sense then. That makes sense. But we do know, though, that the TBI confirmed proof of life from the 15th. They didn't specify what,
Right.
but they did verify proof of life on that date.
Yeah.
How they did that, I don't know.
Alpaca Maid says, either way, yes, Don did say the rain video was the last video taken at that point, or at a point.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, should I say. That's what I was thinking. But he did say that the last video his wife took. Because it always struck me, because I'm like, well, what about the milk video?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess technically she didn't do that one.
But she did the swimming hole.
Right? Yeah. Or did she?
Yeah. Well, it was taken that day, I guess.
But we don't know by who.
Right. Yeah. But presumably, though, if it wasn't taken on Candace's phone or what have you, then I don't think the TBI would have confirmed it.
Well, no. I'm not saying it wasn't taken on Candace's phone. We just don't know who was standing behind Candace's phone.
There's so a nerdy addict went to the horse stables, and there are, I think, at least four cameras that record people coming in and out around in there. So I'm sure there's video. Maybe that's how they did some confirmation of her.
Hey, hon, can you give me 2 minutes? You got this for 2 minutes? I got something in the oven. I think it's burning.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I know. I heard that Don was on. Did he call in or come on panel on Josh's or something? I can't recall how that goes. I haven't seen it. Anybody know?
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Did you watch the stuff from the lab?
What, from last night?
I guess so.
No, I've not watched it yet.
I haven't either. I heard that it's a must-watch thing.
Yeah. Evidently, he talks with Chris McDonough on the lab last night, too.
Oh, I bet that goes over well.
Yeah.
Not to take Don's side or anything, but Chris McDonough is, I don't know how you feel about him, but
Thank you. I am not the biggest fan, and I didn't know whether to say something or not, because
I swear Chris McDonough's like obsessed with Don. He's like obsessed with him. And I felt a particular kind of way about Chris McDonough initially, but then when he decided that he was going to shift his entire channel to just talk about basically Dawn Wells,
right?
I was thinking, this is ridiculous. Why don't we talk about Summer and not Dawn Wells? And so here we are again. We're all talking about Dawn Wells.
Plant Diva says he called in. Who called in? Chris or Dawn? I thought Dawn was actually on the panel.
He said the N-word again. Oh, good Lord. Yeah. Each their own, but that's I'm assuming with the hard R.
I figured that's what was going on. Josh was pretty much dogging him. Mm-hmm. And then Dawn called in. Okay. Then about 15 minutes in, Chris M called in. Oh, wow.
Jesus. No, I don't like Chris McDonough. I think that he's done so many things that are wrong.
I agree.
And made a mockery of everything.
That 14-year-old boy before this case ever came along.
Yes. Have you watched the documentary about the investigation into that?
No, I've not, but I would like to.
You should. So they God, what's that? What's the name?
Oh, I don't remember.
So they were, apparently there was some discussion going on some radio show at that time, and they were talking about what a terrible job that law enforcement did pinning it on these kids. And Chris McDonough calls into this radio show and just lays it out, rips them a new one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, good God. But it shows some of the interrogation that Chris McDonough does with this kid. And I just...
Right. Discovering Josh is the lab. Tig says, but Josh was taking the focus off Summer and talking about SA and M and her cooking show. The whole show, something or other, CM, just sickening. They won't focus on Summer. Don't like Chris no more. Oh, and guys, if y'all haven't watched it, you need to go find and listen to it. Probably about 40 years ago. I don't know for sure when this was recorded. But y'all have got to go listen to Chris McDonough's video where he was singing. He sings. He's a singer. And he has a video out. And I forget the name of the song, but I'll look it up and put it on my...
I'm emailing you.
Huh?
I just emailed you so I have the videos of that show, that TV show.
Yeah.
Saved into a playlist. So I emailed you the link to the playlist.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that Michael Crow is what it's from. Michael Crow.
Okay. Good, because I want to watch it.
Yeah, it is. It's a something, all right.
The bad thing about it is I watched that before I ever knew who Chris McDonough was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were doing videos on him about him doing that to that kid before Summer came along, should I say.
Mm-hmm. And then he did that stuff with Nomadic Trek, all that stuff. Jeez. It's really upsetting. The channels that are large channels like that, they have a massive audience and they could do so much good. It's not like, and I don't mean this in any kind of negative way, it's not as though Summer is the only person that's missing in the world.
That's true.
And it's like you have over 100,000 people watching you. Why don't you highlight other missing people every so often? Why do we have to perpetually talk about Dawn Wells?
Right.
To each their own. But if I had a platform that large, I would use it for something like that. Something good.
Guys, I am going to try to post that. Crap. I'm going to try to post that link for that video.
That playlist?
No. The Chris McDonough singing.
Oh, okay. Because there's 3 videos. The person that recorded that episode of whatever it was split it into 3 videos. So the quality is terrible, but you'll get the idea when you see it.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna pop down. I got to get stuff ready for my stream.
Okay.
And,
what time are you going live?
Well, I've been pushing it forward and forward.
Oh, I'm
probably
sorry.
Like 15. No, it's not you. It wasn't you. It started with someone else this morning. In like 15 minutes or 20 minutes or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I greatly appreciate you coming up.
Yeah. And I'll try to get, I don't think I'll get that other situation done today. I'll work on it this weekend though. And get you the link so you can get in there to look at all the documents and things that we had talked about. The shared drive. If you know what I'm referring to. Did I lose you? Have you disappeared? Oh no.
There we go. I can hear you now. Are you there?
Okay. I was like, oh no. Yeah, I'm here. All right. I'm gonna get down, but I will I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thanks
All
for
right.
coming up, sweetheart. I
Sure.
appreciate
All
it.
right. Bye-bye, guys.
Have a great day. Bye, hon. Well, it's us again. Anyways, guys, I can't put that link out there for some reason. I tried to do it on my phone, but it didn't show up on the computer. The name of the song is Wind, Wind, and it's by Chris McDonough. Go look it up on YouTube and listen to it. It does sound a little, like it maybe is not him, but I promise you it is him. And if you keep listening to it, you can hear him. You can hear it's his voice, but he's like probably 30, 40 years younger. I do want to say thank you for all of you guys showing up. Hello, Auntie M. I didn't miss you coming in, hon. I was just trying to get that link out there and couldn't get it to work. Oh, well, I'm not leaving yet, sweetheart. We still got at least 10, 15 more minutes to go. Those Irish can sing. You have no desire to hear Chris M sing? I go listen to stuff like that just out of the amusement of it. Thanks to discovering the truth, I'm glad to be here and kind of glad that Chris McDonough sings video isn't working. Oh, I wasn't going to play it. I was just going to put the link up so that if any of you wanted to go and see it or hear it, you could. Trust me, I wasn't planning on playing it. As I said, I mean, some of you may not like it, but I'm just not a big fan of his at all. Yeah, you can recognize the voice. I'm so glad I got the notification. Haven't been getting so many lately. Well, I'm glad you did too, sweetheart. I am so happy and pleased to be able to come back on and start doing lives again, and just knowing that you guys are still there for me. It was getting a little shoddy through the month of December, and I'm just now getting built back up because, I mean, like, where I didn't do so many videos or live streams in December, that really hurt me, and it hurt the channel. And then, of course, the whole, fiasco that went on right after that in January didn't help much. Exactly. I agree, hon. And you have to admit that it's the truth. I don't care if y'all do like him or not. I will send her, I will send that picture to her as soon as I get the email from her. I'll send that picture right back to her. I did forget again. But y'all have to admit, he is so full of himself. Like this, when he did the commentary for the video where he interviewed Candace at the water, and he's sitting there and he's saying, do you see how when I moved my body this way, it caused her to turn that away? And do you see how when I tilted my head, it made her admit to this and that? I mean, come on. They ain't nobody that talented. They ain't nobody that good. And what caused her to back up next to the water was because he was stepping forward. He was invading her body space. Get real. I would have backed up away from him too. Hello, the person that I can't pronounce your name. You're not late, honey. Well, you might technically be a little bit late because we've been going for almost 2 hours, but it's not like we care that you're late. We're just glad you're here. Says, I certainly not a CM fan. Can't stand to hear him talk. Maybe his singing voice is better. Well, yeah, the singing voice is better. Not that it's a great voice, but it's better than listening to him talk. But y'all need to go check it out. Yeah, that's what it was. He was trying to get a good camera shot for the money. Money shot, like they say in basketball. Notifications have to be turned on YouTube channel and on your browser or phone for them to work consistently. Oh, I didn't realize that. Well, I think he sung very good, just listening in the background. Well, I mean, I didn't say he was bad. It's not like I thought he was, on the Gong Show or anything, and he got gonged off. Does anybody remember the Gong Show? That was, I believe, the original America's Got Talent. He should say, "This is my retirement income." Exactly. Well, does anybody have anything else they want to bring up? Do you guys want me to see if I can set up an actual time for Don Wells to be on panel? I mean, I've not actually full blown, asked him to come and be on panel. But then again, I don't want to cause another fiasco where I lose subscribers and stuff just because I'm trying to get information. Chuck Barris, yes, Alpaca Maid. You remember him? I go back and watch that stuff sometimes. Hi, Carrie. How are you? Glad to see you here. So, guys, what do y'all want to talk about real quick? I just listened to his song. It was good. Yeah. Like I said, it wasn't meaning that it was bad. It's just, I think it's funny for a person like Chris McDonough that holds up his reputation so high. He would be out here singing and making, music videos. And the only reason I learned about it is because somebody actually, Chris was talking about it one day and saying that somebody had tried to out him, and they played it on their show and brought it all back out into the open. And that's how I learned about it. That's how I knew for a fact it was him. Right. I don't want to lose subs. I've been bouncing back and forth. And it's not that I'm just wanting to go with the flow or whatever, but you all are the ones that literally make the channel. If you all aren't here, or you're not interested, or not wanting to watch something, then I don't have a channel. We don't have a channel. So, it's the pros and cons of actually having him come on is my curiosity and me wanting to know answers to questions worth losing subscribers. How will anybody celebrate or acknowledge Summer's 7th birthday, whoever she is, tomorrow? Or wherever she is, sorry. I was wondering why it said whoever she is. Well, I'm doing a video because, like I said, I've got my own granddaughter's birthday party I have to go to. So I'm getting a video together today. It's going to have pictures, of course. It's going to have a few different songs in it. It's going to have poetry in it. I'm going to do it. If people watch it, great. If you don't, great. I just hope, the ones that do watch it enjoy it. Auntie M says, I'm so done with Dawn and Candace. Finish the story about the eggs. Oh, do any of you guys watch Tucker Carlson? He's on Fox News. He was doing a report where I don't happen to think it's a conspiracy theory, but we have to call it a conspiracy theory because whatever. There are people who believe that somebody high powered over the United States is putting stuff in like chicken feed, cattle feed in a specific brand that is possibly causing the chickens to stop laying the eggs. There has been a recall on this certain feed when it comes to the cattle, because cattle were becoming unalive for absolutely no reason. And they found out that it had to do with the feed. Well, that same feed for the chickens that have laid religiously every day, every 24 to 26 hours for years on end now, all of a sudden stopped laying eggs for like months and months at a time. And there's one woman that he interviews, or that comes on his show, that says that when she finally switched to a local person to buy her chicken feed from and started feeding them the local feed, the chickens started laying eggs again. So they're wondering if that high-powered entity is putting something in the feed to cause the eggs to be diminished, because of the bird flu. It's called the avian flu. They have had to put down 58 million chickens that, are the egg layers, and the chicken, they supply our chicken and stuff for us in the grocery stores. With that kind of numbers diminishing that quickly, we're going to run out of chickens. We're going to run out of eggs. We're going to run out of food, guys. And then, so now people are actually bringing eggs in from across the border just to have them. And Border Patrol is literally checking. They're checking to see if they're bringing poultry and eggs across the border. Like, we don't have enough to worry about with real important stuff being trafficked across the border. Now they're trying to keep the eggs and the poultry out of the United States. It's just the whole, you'd have to go and watch the Tucker Carlson. Like I said, I posted it onto my community tab for you to get the whole story. But it's just scary thoughts that, there's so many food factories like are burning down and all this stuff. And Spirit Hunter, I believe it was Spirit Hunter, she commented last night and said that that the same thing, they're going through the same thing, because we all thought it was just here in the US, but she's saying in the UK, they are having whole herds at one time. Like, you wake up one morning and the whole herds of cattle are gone. They're just unalive for absolutely no reason. Like, the whole herd. And their eggs and their water bills and their gas bills, their mortgages are going skyrocketing. Just unbelievable. It's something we need to look into, guys. It's something we need to pay attention to. I know a lot of people think that preppers are almost as bad a word as YouTuber, but it's something that people need to pay attention to. Y'all might want to start stocking up, literally. Because it looks like it's getting pretty bad. And if there was any way we could freeze dry eggs, I would do that. Poultry keepers need to do blind feed tests at an independent lab to know for sure. Well, yeah, that's true. But when you have farmers that have over hundreds of hens and they've all been pretty good layers, and 6 months ago, for some reason, they just all stopped laying. None of them are laying any eggs whatsoever. And when you switch their feed to a local brand and they start laying eggs again, that pretty much tells you. Oh, I missed something. Cindy Mentes. I don't know how to pronounce that. I heard the last photo was taken in the kitchen with Dawn holding her. That's what he said. He said he felt this would be the last time with Summer. Right. He told me it was because he had that horrible feeling that something was going to happen to her. I think a lot of is from the blank and everyone not working. Like a depression, I keep thinking something like this was going to happen. The whole world can't take off for a year. No consequences. True. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, sweetheart. I just can't talk today for some reason, guys. What have you done wrong? What makes you think you've done something wrong? You haven't done anything wrong. Blackwing Paranormal, please tell me what you're referring to. If you're not talking to me, just let me know. But I don't like people thinking that I've done or said something that I haven't. You haven't done anything. Those nuts believe cow farts cause global warming, right? Prices sky high, portions smaller. It's getting out of control. Yeah. I'm not joking, guys. My son went the other day to the store. Sweetheart, why did you think you had done something wrong? What did I do or say that made you think that? Because I don't ever want to, make you guys think something. I mean, I can't explain what I'm saying, but please tell me what you thought happened so I don't do it again. I would never want to hurt somebody's feelings or make them think they'd done something wrong. My son went the other day to the grocery store. He bought a gallon of milk, 24 pack of drinks, a big pack of pork chops, a small pack of hamburger meat, taco mix, bag of flour, bag of sugar, and a box of ice cream, I think it was. And that's pretty much it. Oh, a can of dog food, I think he bought. And it was $80 for that few amount of items. Oh, he bought a dozen of eggs. Let's say we have to throw those eggs in there. But on that video that we're Tucker's talking, there's somebody on there saying they have to pay $10 for eggs, for 1 dozen of eggs. Oh, yeah, we can't say the C word because you get, they'll tell you, I forget how it's worked, but they'll say it's misinformation and you're not allowed to have that on YouTube. Thank you, Alpaca. I didn't see anything either. Blackwing never says anything out of the, to upset anybody. Cow farts aren't bad. The poop is bad. Well, it depends on how it's used. Sometimes it could probably be used for good. I mean, can't pig poop be used for fuel? You would think that cow poop could. If it's causing that much damage to the ozone layer, you'd think that they'd figure out a way to put it to good use. I buy the big box of 60. It's $20. Houston, Texas. Big box of 60 what, hun? What is your problem, JoJo? My dog's sitting over here scratching the floor, no less. Can't figure out what he's doing. I'm just looking at the comments, guys, seeing if there's anything interesting that I missed. Carrie says, maybe it's because I agree with all of you. Stand for with all these missing children. I don't get it. Why? Why would people unsubscribe? Because they are in the belief that if you are not calling for a bad person to be hung in Times Square, then obviously you side with that person. Or if you are willing to speak to that person and not cuss them out, then you're as bad as that person. That whole comment was reduced to a winking face. I was wondering why you put that up there. Cow's poop equals good. Let the chicken scratch and eat the maggots. Well, see, that's something I if I have chickens, I feed them, you feed them table scraps and stuff like that. Only chickens that are kept in a enclosed place need actual chicken feed. Chicken that are free range chickens don't need extra feed bought for them, except, well, maybe in the wintertime. But all you got to do then is just buy the ingredients and mix it yourself. And then you don't have to worry about what's being put in it. I don't buy eggs very often unless I'm making tater salad or something. So I had to check the prices around here, and our eggs are $3.82 a dozen for large and $18.48 for 60 large whites. Well, I'm telling you what, Discovery, I'm almost have you start buying some up and sending them to me, okay? Because here they're over the generic brands, not Eggland's Best, but the store brand is over $5 for a dozen. I got you, hon. Chickens do eat anything. How did Trevor come to be so interested in Summer's case? Did he know her before? I've been in some groups with him, and he has supported some horrible comments. I was shocked. I'm not sure. I do know that he lost his dad when he was about 10 years old, because I always wondered about Trevor myself back when all this started. And I'm thinking, a 19-year-old kid that's that invested in just one little girl. But it's not just one little girl. He does this for all the missing kids. And I believe it's something that his dad had done before he passed away. And I think Trevor just picked it up. Or, maybe his dad and his mom are very compassionate people. And it's just a way of life that he has lived. And I think he just truly has a huge heart. And because he is from that area. I always buy generic brand. I'm too poor for name brands, right? I live smack in the middle of farm and Amish country, and eggs, butter, milk have been like gold for 5 years. Yeah, I watch, I forget the name of the channel, but she does the gentle parenting kind of thing. I think the woman's genius. I love the way she parents, but it's hilarious too. But she did a skit where she had 2 eggs. You didn't know it was eggs, but she had called up this dude, this dealer, and they're coming to pick up the item for $1,000. And when they get there, she starts arguing with them, and she's like, "No, one is all you're getting, but it's still going to cost you $1,000, dude. If you want it, hurry, slip it here, slip me the money." And then come to find out it was an egg she was talking about. And I thought it was funny, but didn't realize the seriousness of it until I saw the video that Tucker Carlson put out, where they're actually smuggling and trafficking eggs. So I was like, geez, that's actually a real thing. I don't know what other than the fact that he's from that area. And like I said, I believe, it comes from his mom and dad, and the being a Christian. Um, Other than that, I'm not sure what it could be, but I had my doubts or my wonders before I saw the article he did on his dad, and the fact that he had lost his dad when he was 10 years old and stuff. As a matter of fact, I believe he just put it back out on Facebook again like a couple days ago. Yeah, I would love to have an Amish close by too, because I would want the butter. I've thought about trying to making they give you the recipe on YouTube of how to make butter out of whipping cream or heavy cream, or which is one of them. And I thought about making my own butter. I want to try it. Nana, I replied, it's up above Alpaca's comment. Okay. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I skipped over it. Okay. Yes, put Dawn up on panel. Could have made a retirement income on duck eggs. When I was younger, I would have eaten duck eggs. I did eat duck eggs, but I don't know if I could eat them now. Okay, Blackwing. I just wanted to make sure I didn't say or do something to you, hon. Please don't ever if you think I've said something, call me out on it. I don't mind one bit. If I don't ever want to hurt somebody's feelings or make them think they've done something wrong. This is y'all's channel just as much as it is mine. They are tough dealers. There's a lady who goes to the same auctions as me, and when she bids, I get scared. Oh, wow. Her channel is called Pleasant. Yes, Pleasant Media. Yes, thank you. Love her channel. She's so funny. She is hilarious. But the way she parents, and she'll admit that when her older daughter was first being raised, that she didn't gentle parent. But now her two twin 4-year-olds, she is, gentle parented since they were born. And I'm telling you, I wished I'd have known that logic when I was raising my kids. Oh, thank you, Black Wing. I love you guys to death too. That was another channel I wanted to tell you guys about too, and I can't think of which one it was. Oh, if you all don't watch Modern Day Renaissance Man, y'all need to go watch him too. He is hilarious. He is a Republican. He's a black dude. He is so there. He's got he really is a Renaissance man. He's some kind of medical profession. He's a full-time YouTuber. He's a comedian. He plays the piano. He's in government. There ain't much this man don't do, but he is hilarious. But he also speaks the truth when it comes to governments and stuff like that, stuff going on. I'm right down the street from Amish farms here in southern Middle Tennessee. They're very nice to deal with if you follow their social rules, requests like no pictures, no lunchtime house visits. Well, I would like to go visit an Amish community. I really would. Heck, I've almost thought about going and joining one. We don't know what happened to Summer. That's the problem. If it took only $10,000 to get Summer back, she'd be home. I'm way behind. You're fine, Mama Mac. You're fine. Hang on, guys. I don't know if this will work or not, but I love the Renaissance time era, and I used to go to the Renaissance festivals every year. I would like to do that too. That's something else I've never done, and I've always wanted to. I've got a heck of a bucket list, guys. Been watching some courtroom CPS cases. The cases have about parents permanently losing custody of their kids. It's heartbreaking. It is. Same here too. I always wave to them. They have right of way on the road, right outside of the street. Any farmer, guys, if it's a tractor or a horse and buggy, anything like that, it don't matter if they are Amish or they're your next door neighbor. If they are a farm or have a farm and they have a tractor or any kind of farm equipment and they're going down the road, they have the right of way. Because without them, we as a collective country would not eat. All right, guys, it's been almost 2.5 hours. I just wanted to get on here and knock around some ideas with you guys and see if y'all knew what had been said or what had been done last night with Don. See what, put feelers out to see if y'all wanted me to get him on panel. Did y'all have any questions you wanted to ask him? I think it's good that Don is talking. He just needs to be careful who he talks to, right? So I just want to know what y'all thought about him coming up on panel, if I can get him to come up on panel. The other day, I just sent him a text. I didn't actually talk to him. And his response back to me was that he did not get to sleep until 5:30 that morning because that was when he drove back to Tennessee. And then he had overslept and then he was working. And that's why he didn't check his text messages and stuff. So, I mean, if I invite him, he might come on. I don't know. I told him that I had told y'all the last time that evidently he just don't like me. And when I told him I said that, he's like, I never said that. So we'll see. I'm a likable person though, guys. Am I not? Why wouldn't somebody want to come and talk to me? Right. Amish live the lifestyles of our great grandparents. Well, maybe your great grandparents, but they were my grandparents. Actually, probably my parents. It goes by fast here too, hon. Oh, we enjoy your company, Zero. I love you, hon. Nana, I don't know why he wouldn't come on your panel because he's jumping on other panels and you're not a bashing channel, so he should. Thank you, Discovering. I know. We'll see. The only problem is I don't get to do a whole lot of evening live streams because of the whole internet situation and my son being home of an evening. And then if Don really is working, then he's working during the day too. So the only time he could probably come on panel is of a night. So maybe I'll try to get something worked out. I think he'd be fine on your channel if people don't attack him and turn it into a circus, right? Of course you're likable, Nana's Angels. I wouldn't mind if you weren't. Oh, well, One of these days, we're going to have a chit chat on the phone. You'll realize I'm not as sweet and adorable as I am on the live streams. I'm lying, guys. I really am. Unfortunately, I'm a big pushover. I think, okay, I done read that one. Discovering, am I a big pushover? Am I mean in real life? Did you ever get the booster I sent you? And no, I haven't gotten anything yet. Tina sent me a bunch of stuff too. Like Tina sent me a microphone. My son and his husband's grandparents, the grandmother has dementia, and the grandfather had a pacemaker put in a week and a half or so ago, and then was supposed to have went this past Wednesday to have a new valve put in. But on Monday, when they went up there to get him pre-registered, they put him in the hospital because he was having massive internal bleeding, and they couldn't figure out from where. And so my son had to go and stay with the grandmother who has dementia, which meant basically their whole worlds have been turned upside down for the last little while. And so they haven't had a chance to bring it over here to me, and I've not had a chance to go get all that stuff. But hopefully as soon as I get it, the booster will help tremendously. Oh, there you go, flipping again, discovering. Says, I was about to say, I talk to you every day and you're a sweetheart. Okay. Well, at least we know somebody in your household besides you likes me now, though. That made me feel so special, discovering. I swear it did. Do you mind if I tell them? Discovering. Alpaca Mate, I'll send you my phone number. I'm sure it will help. It would be nice to actually hear from Don without people jumping on his case. I'd like to talk to Don. XO. Well, I tell you what, Blackwing, if I can get him to come on panel, would you like to come up and actually speak with him? Of course not. It was a special moment. Yes, it was. Okay, guys, I have to tell y'all about a really, really special thing that happened to me yesterday, and it made me feel really good. Discovering son is 15, and he is autistic. He has severe autism. It's almost where he's nonverbal. I mean, he is verbal, but he has his moments of clarity, should I say. Most of the time, he's just repetitive speaking, and most of the time it has to do with Winnie the Pooh, even though he don't watch Winnie the Pooh. But a lot of times, like his mom will go in to say something to him, and he'll tell her, go away, leave me alone, or get out of here. And she'll just aggravate him to death by kissing him on the forehead. And they get into a little fuss about that. And he'll tell her, go away, leave me alone, turn the light out, turn the light out. But I know, because of what she's told me, he doesn't talk to people. He's not very communicative, however you would say that, to other people. He don't really like people. Of course, my kids don't like people, so it was neither here nor there. But we were talking yesterday, and we were discussing something that she's investigating for me. And I heard him talking in the background, although he wasn't yelling. Normally, he speaks in a very loud language, very loud. But I heard him speaking, but he wasn't yelling, but I wasn't paying attention. My mind was elsewhere. Till she calls it to my attention. She's like, did you hear him? And I'm like, no, what did he say? And she said, he was saying hello to you. And I go, oh, hello, Liam. And he turns around and he says, hello, Nana. I have never spoke to this child before. He has never spoke to me before. I don't know how much his mom talks to him about me. But he literally turned around and said, hello, Nana. and was literally speaking to me. And that just made me feel so, so very special, because he doesn't talk to people. He doesn't like to communicate with people. And that just, it really broke my heart. It made me feel really special. Okay, she says, even though he has autism, it's almost like he's a typical teenage because he hates the world. LOL. This is true. I can vouch for that. Because we talk quite a bit, and Liam's always there. And I'm sorry, I keep saying his name. Sorry, he's always there with her, and it's just it just made me feel very special that he would speak directly to me. So now that I bored you with that story, I'm probably going to jump off here. I've got to go in here and check on this stuff that's in the oven. I want to say thank you all so very much for coming and joining me and listening to me run my mouth once again. Thanks for everybody that watches this on replay. I hope you get something out of it, whether it be information or just something that breaks up the monotony of your day. You know, a voice to keep you company, just to hear chitter chatter in the background, whatever. The time comes that you all are not getting something from this channel, I want you all to let me know. Because if you're not getting something from it, then we're not doing something right and we need to change. It was pretty awesome. Even though he's having a cough, a rough time, he's an awesome kid. Yes, he is an awesome kid. Okay, Carol, I'll check it, hun, as soon as I get off here. Thank you, V. You have a great day too, hun. Shortcut to replay. Duck eggs are very delicious. I don't remember. I mean, I'm assuming they just taste like eggs. They're richer. They have an oranger color to the yolk and stuff. But I don't really remember them having a distinct flavor. Nana, I'd like to come up and talk to Don. Thank you, sweetheart. You're more than welcome. If we can get him on here, you're more than welcome to. And as a matter of fact, I'll see if I can't work it out to where, you know, I mean, whoever might want to, as long as we don't, you sit on panel, you know, get up. Not you, I'm not talking to you, Blackwing, but if other people want to come up, you know, come up, ask your question. No arguing, let him answer it, jump back down so the next person can come up. That would be great with me. I mean, I'd be happy with that too. Because, I mean, it's not, I do not want it to be a grill session. I do not want it to be an interview. I want to speak to the man. And like Angel, the questions that Angel Talks Too Fast was posing. If we find out information about the little details, then maybe we can crack the egg, so to speak. Because the same old questions that's been asked for almost 20 months now, they're not getting answered, or they all have the same damn answers. We're not going to get anywhere if we keep drilling them with the same questions over and over again. A Q&A, yeah. So anyways, okay, guys, I'm going to jump off here. I love you all very much. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're a sub, a mod, a viewer. I do want to say thank you to all my mods that come up. And I know that's not like y'all have a whole lot to do. I mean, we don't have bad people that come in here. Thank the heavens above. But I still do appreciate you all. And the people, all the people. And I'm not just, Discovering does a lot of my investigating and my research and stuff. But there are lots and lots of people out there that view this channel that help with the investigations and research and ideas. And I want to thank all of you. You're all very much appreciated. You're not overlooked. You're not forgotten. So go hug your kids. Tell your kids you love them. Call your parents up. Trust me, you will regret the day that you don't call them up, and the day you do, they're not there any longer. Call your siblings. If your siblings are still around, call them up. I don't care if you haven't talked to them in 5 years. Find this stupid little meme on TikTok. Do like I did today. It was a alpaca or something sticking his tongue out and making a bunch of funky little noises. And I sent it to my brother who's, got the cancer. And I said, I just wanted to tell you how much I love you and I'm thinking of you. But I know that all you're going to hear is this. And it has that alpaca going. I said, but I wanted to let you know anyways. So I sent that to him. So if it's some stupid little meme, just let your sisters, your brothers, whoever know that you're thinking of them. Don't let another day go by without telling people that you care. Even if they don't say it back. You've done the right thing. All right. That's my preaching for the day. I love you guys. Yes, I see. I will email you with my details, Nana. Lots of love. Lots of love and blessed you, Ton. Absolutely. I wish I could call my mama. Me too, baby. Me too. I love you. I know you love that. I love you too, Alpaca Maid. I'll talk to you guys later. Lots of love worldwide. That's what we're going to have to survive this evil world that we're living in.